Hello, and finally, welcome back to the Rome 2 campaign with the Seleucids. I am the heir of Carthage, of course, because, well, this is my channel, and if someone else was recording here, it would be a little strange. Sorry it's been so long since this campaign has been here. It's not because I haven't tried. I'm going to go ahead and start this battle, and then I've got to explain a lot of things to you. First and foremost, this is not where we left off last time. Some of you may be wondering why. Well, listen to this explanation of what I have been trying to do over the last 3 to 4 days to get this campaign to you, and you'll understand why this isn't where we last left off. And of course, I'll explain anything that happened in the in-between. So I'm going to go ahead and start loading up this battle while we do this discussion. So I recorded an episode, I think last week, a little bit late. I released it on Saturday instead of Friday. And so on Monday, I intended to release to you all the newest episode of this campaign. I went to record it, and I was about 45 minutes through it, and Rome 2 crashed. And I was frustrated. That was my only recording window in the whole day because it was a very busy day with my day job. And so I was very frustrated. Like, it happened with really bad timing and was pretty upsetting. So I was like, you know what? I'll just try again tomorrow. And so Tuesday came around, and again, my day job was extremely busy, and I just wasn't able to pick up much opportunity to record. I say much opportunity, I just didn't have an opportunity to record. So I felt bad because I was now 2 days late on getting you all the campaign, and I was like, well, I didn't really intend this to be a streamed series. I was like, but I could just stream the Rome 2 campaign tonight, and then that way it'll be a 2-hour, because I usually stream for 2 hours at a time. I was like, it'll be a 2-hour episode. People will get caught up, and they should enjoy it. And so I scheduled the stream, and sure enough, there was a lot of people waiting on the stream. They were excited. They were commenting about it before the stream had even started. And I was feeling good. I was like, this will be great. Seems like people were going to, well, check it out. They left caltrops and other stuff here. I wonder if I can get them to walk through their own traps. I'm going to attempt it. In any case, yeah, so I was very excited about it. I sit down, and I'm like, yeah, here we go. I turn on the stream, ready to go, ready to play some Rome 2, ready to have some live Seleucid action on the internet, and my ISP was throttling my internet. It had been fine during the day, and all of a sudden, my upload speed was 0 to 1 megabit per second, when I normally am supposed to have at least 35. So streaming was absolutely... Look at this, they're trying to light up the brimstone pits. In any case, so streaming was impossible. It wasn't going to be able to be done. So in massive frustration, I said, you know what? This sucks. This is the second day in a row I've tried to bring this content to people, and it didn't work. So what I'm going to do now is I will... I'll just go ahead and... sorry, hold on. I got to do something just real quick here. I'm going to pull these units back. So I was like, all right, well, that... failed again. So, maybe what I can do instead is I will just reschedule the stream for Wednesday, because I normally stream on a Tuesday, and I was like, I'll just reschedule the stream for Wednesday. Sucks. Hate being this far behind, feel like I'm not getting people content, but whatever. We just gotta deal with it, right? I don't have a choice, so we just gotta deal with it. And so that was my plan. I rescheduled it for Wednesday. I checked my internet all throughout the day on Wednesday. My internet was good. Everything was fine. I even did a little test stream, a private test stream. It worked fine. No issues. And lo and behold, around 7:30, when the stream was supposed to start at about 8:15 in that evening, I go to the internet, run a test, and my upload speed is jacked again. So clearly my ISP is doing some throttling during prime time, because they've clearly oversold their bandwidth, and they have to throttle in order to keep the Netflix videos and all other stuff running, right? The internet companies do that a lot here in the US. They'll promise you a certain speed, and then of course, whenever the prime time happens and everybody's trying to stream Netflix, they'll just cut your speeds down to certain websites, and that's absolutely what they were up to. So it's really frustrating. Stream got canceled second day in a row. I was very upset about it, and I was talking to Mrs. Air and just telling her, I don't know what to do about this. This is really irritating. Like, no one's going to watch my channel because I can't, make consistent content. And I was just getting really, really irritated. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay up late. I'm going to sit down here and I'm just going to record an episode of the campaign. Like, I'm going to stay up late, I'm going to record this episode, I'm going to get it done. So I did. I stayed up late, I recorded an hour-long episode of the campaign, and I was going to upload it this morning. I got up, tested my internet speed. The internet speed's working, so I should be able to upload it. So I was like, all right, good. I'm going to be able to make an upload. And I go to make the upload, and the file's corrupted. Can't upload the file. So, defeated again. I started recording again this morning. I had a little time. So I'm recording. And here I am. Hopefully you're actually watching this. That'll mean that I finally succeeded on what I believe is the 5th attempt to get you this, if you're watching it. So that's why it has taken so long, and that's also why you're not seeing things from exactly where they left off last time. I recorded that entire episode, and it was corrupted, and I could have reloaded to the previous save, because I save my campaign at different points every time. How did they manage this? Their thorax. How does the AI do this? Like, they just push through my unit somehow with their pike units. I don't understand this at all. Somehow the AI will push through one of my pike units. Like right here, you can see it just chippered right through them, and is now just like pushing forward. I don't understand this behavior. It's rather strange. It doesn't happen too terribly often, but in any case, so yeah, here I am. So I recorded episode 18, and it was fine. It was a good episode. I could have reloaded the save from after episode 17 and played it again, but I was like, you know what? The stuff that happened on it was fine, but it was nothing like insanely special. So let's just go ahead and go to the next episode, because I know that what people are really wanting to see here is eventually me getting to Rome and some of the other enemies, and not necessarily having to watch like 6 episodes of me fighting out the same satrapy wars, which is kind of where we've been stuck for the last little while. But in any case, that's what we're going to do. So all that happened on the last episode was Hannibal killed off some Athenian remnants. I did some back and forth with Bactria. This is also leftover back and forth with Bactria from the last episode. I wanted to fight this battle myself so that I didn't lose more elephants. I ended up losing a bunch of pikemen unexpectedly. But in any case, that's where we are. That's where we're at. And could you all do me a huge favor? It's been a really frustrating few days. And I'm not trying to sound like entitled or something here, because I understand this is just part of the job. But I've put a lot of work into trying to get this to you. I know I failed. But if you can help appreciate that by interacting with this video, hitting the like button, commenting if you like it. Now, of course, you don't have to hit the like button if you don't like it. Not trying to force that on you, but yeah, if you watch this and you enjoy it, please go interact with it. Do me a favor, because this has been about 4 or 5 days in the making, and it's been very frustrating. It is not your fault. It's nothing that any of you have done wrong, so it's just, you know, that's what happens sometimes when you're trying to make content. It isn't always pretty, but I still do love it, and having some support from you all in this case would be really fantastic. Not gonna lie, it would certainly help me feel a little bit better about all of the what feels like failings on my part to get you the content, even though some of that is out of my control. Unfortunately, I just don't have a way to control my ISP. I have no other options for internet service, so you know, I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place as far as that stuff's concerned. There's very little I can do. I kind of want to go get eyes on Carthage out of curiosity. Let's... Nasamones? Oh, Romans! Look at this, folks. Rome may be bigger than we thought, and that would be exciting. That would be a bit of good news that I could use right now with regards to this campaign. Since I've had so much trouble getting it posted to you all, it'd be really awesome to see it have Rome be a huge enemy in the end. That would be very exciting for me, at least. Hopefully exciting for you all too. So there's not much going on at Cath. I don't know if there's any other settlements up this way. They have a small settlement in behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of scouting around the city here. Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot else going on. I think that's all the stuff that has movement points. I started a new army here, so I had Hannibal adopt another one of these other noble ladies, and I pulled her into Hannibal's family, married her off so I could get another general. So I've got another general, and plus I just figured it'd be cool to expand Hannibal's family in the tree here, you know, give him more opportunities to continue his legacy. In fact, I may go ahead just adopt this other lady too. We'll see. Kind of considering it. The war with Cyrenaica. Cyrenaica sent an army towards Memphis, which would have had catastrophic effects. At the time, my food supply was quite low due to some seasonal events, and I actually spent some time changing some stuff around with my food supply because we were down into like the 20s. And had they captured Memphis, I would have gone into the negative, and all of my armies would have started deserting. So I started this army right here just to help hold, because Memphis has a terrible garrison, as does some of the other settlements there. So the Cyrenaicans are giving me some temporary issues, and I've ordered my fleet to sail down and help me with the subduing of Cyrenaica, or the dollar store Ptolemies, as we've grown fond of calling them. So let's go through here. I got to make sure I've been rebuilding some stuff, so I need to make sure that I'm not about to create patchy factories. So see, like right here at Moreau, we were about to have just such a thing. I was going to put a sanitation facility in here, because some of these places I want to increase growth and try and get the population surplus up so that I can continue to expand settlements. All right, so Moreau, we got that built. Let's take a look at some of these other spots here. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of buildings we can build, a lot of them. And as long as I make sure I don't have any patchy factories, I'm going to be doing some work, too, to kind of look at increasing my income, because we have continued, we've continued to, let's see, I don't need both of these agricultural facilities here. And with food being really high at the moment, I'm going to do the herding grounds, I think. Well, hang on, let me look at this tree. This one gives me the most wealth, but also gives me a little food. The cattle ranch, we end up with a lot of squalor. Shouldn't really matter on the squalor. We end up with more wealth and more food as long as we can counteract the squalor, which we will, because I'll capture Cath, or at least I feel pretty confident that we will. I'm going to go ahead and tear this other one down because it's not really necessary at the moment. Let's continue our way through here. Yeah, Bam. I had just retaken Bam from the Cigarteans. I've got the Cigarteans under siege at Harmosia, and I'm trying to wait them out, essentially, because I have superior forces. I just don't want to fight inside the walls. It will not be terribly favorable for me to fight inside the walls. And what all do I want to build here? I kind of want to build the muster field here for now, because it will give me a better garrison while I'm kind of out and about trying to knock down these other enemies around me. So that is most all of the provinces. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a look at where we might be able to make some more cash. We're making a lot of money in Nabatea, and there's a decent amount of extra wealth that I can get from building up to this colony. It gives me extra wealth from agriculture in all regions too, as well as giving me more olive oil. And not that I need it terribly bad right now, but also more food. And then we have this town spice producer, which increases wealth by 150 as well, and then improves my tariffs, albeit it causes some extra issues with slave unrest. So I'll build those two buildings. It's going to take a number of turns for that to complete, but should help benefit my economy. So let's go ahead and make a turn in. So hopefully that gets you all caught up. I did see in the last episode all your comments about naval battles and the ways that they might be improved. I very much enjoyed those, and I'll be talking through some of them. Ooh, the Roxolani want a trade agreement.
Will you agree to trade?
I will trade with you for now. They have not made any threatening overtures toward me. The war with Colchian continues. I did have a couple of squabbles with them on the last episode. I say squabbles. I defeated them in a couple of battles. They had some interesting units like Cartley Axemen, which we haven't seen yet in the campaign. Decent axe units. They put up a decent fight against my Thorax Swordsman, but in the end they were defeated. So it didn't really go terribly well for Colchis. So yeah, that's kind of what happened with them in the last episode. They had taken, if I remember right, they had taken Edessa. Or no, they took Hatra. I retook Hatra. And then as I retook Hatra, they came in with another army and retook Edessa. And now I saw them moving somewhere up here with yet another army. I had used this army to kind of keep the Cigarteans at bay. I'd like to send it against Colchis. I know as soon as I do, though, the Cigarteans are going to march against me and try and cause me issues. They've got 3 more turns before they surrender. I am taking attrition, which kind of sucks, but I am going to attempt to wait them out there. This army, I just don't know if it has... It doesn't really have the melee capability that I would need to fight a siege battle, so I don't have a choice but to wait these guys out. It looks like Media has this huge army here and could totally hurt the Cigarteans, but is choosing not to and just marching past them. That's really frustrating. It's not a good army, but it's an army that they could use to at least bother them. And they're about to lose one of their settlements to Cigartia. I'm going to go ahead and move this army and get rid of the Cigarteans once and for all. They'll no doubt probably come begging for peace as soon as they see me sitting on their doorstep. But I don't really care. We're going to kill them. So the defenders of Olympus are ready for action. Now, what the heck happened here? Fort settlement under siege. Okay. Oh, the Colchians sieged my capital. I was like, what the heck happened to all my income? How long? Turns till surrender 3. Antioch has a garrison. It's not great. I've only got 1 pike unit, so that's not ideal. And the Colchians, no doubt, have probably at least a few decent units. So I was like, what happened to my income? Well, that's what happened to my income. So the Colchians are getting very brave indeed. Even if I force... Well, I can force march over here and get in their face and try and ward this off. Now, if they attack me, I'm going to get ambushed. That's fine. Pretty sure I can fight my way out of the ambush. I would rather do this. Like, I could just capture Edessa and go after them on the next turn, but if they assault me on the next turn, they very well could. I won't have time to get to them. But I don't really want to leave Edessa in their hands either. I'll tell you what. I'm going to hedge my bets here. I'm going to hit the old quick save button. And I'm going to go ahead and assault Edessa. And then I'm going to wait till the next turn and move over and break the siege at Antioch. In fact, the Colchians may flee with just the fact that I'm this close to him. What's it going to do to me on the auto-resolve? It's going to beat me up too much. I'm going to have to fight this, unfortunately. It's not what I want, but I'm going to have to take some time to go ahead and fight this one because the auto-resolve is going to basically kill all my elephants. So we can't let that happen. But yeah, in any case, I'll try this route because I'd love to deprive the Colchians of Antioch, or sorry, deprive them of the settlement on the way back to Antioch. And then I can hopefully then bust into their territory and get their attention. The problem is they're going to have multiple armies coming at me from multiple angles, and until I can silence the Cigarteans and some of the other annoying factions. Looks like they're waiting on their reinforcements. They've got this giant ballista unit. So, giant ballista, huh? Gotta be careful of the giant ballista. If they land a really lucky shot, they could, you know, like kill your general or something because of the way those work. It would, like I said, it'd have to be a very lucky shot, but it is possible. Okay, let's get this set up. I forgot I had the other archer here. Let's get set up, and now I'm going to start moving towards the Colchian. They're trying to hill camp back here close to where their reinforcements are going to come on. That's fine. Really won't do them any good. I'm going to start running my troops across the desert, which I'm sure they'll love me for, like getting all hot and tired. Alright, so... Go, gonna move up. I'm gonna fast forward for a minute. This is gonna take a while. I thought they had reinforcements coming. Yep, there's the explosive shot from the Greek giant ballista. The artillery in this game is pretty inaccurate. It's nothing like it is on Warhammer 2, where artillery can be very potent. On this game, it's not likely that the artillery usually gets a lot of hits, but since the AI is in control of it, they'll get extra hits. They get all kinds of like buffs and benefits, especially since we're playing on the very hard difficulty. So I expect that the enemy artillery will actually do some decent damage. I say decent. I left one of my Median cavalry back here. As my units get a little bit spread out, though, from taking hits, it should help protect them from damage somewhat. The troops are going to be tired from crossing. Easy. See what I mean right there? They got a really lucky hit on that one. I gotta get my general out of that group because they're targeting that infantry right there. My troops are winded. They need a break, but they're also under fire, but I'm not really too worried about them being under fire because I'm going to take my cavalry up and around the flank, get ready to go smash that giant ballista. See, even given all that time to fire, the ballista has really caused fairly minimal damage. It's gotten a few hits here and there, but nothing overly significant. I'm gonna go ahead and move into skirmisher range. My Median cavalry is on the way in. Change their target again. See, almost all of their shots are landing hits. When you fire the ballista, almost all of your shots will miss. So that's why artillery in this game, typically speaking, is fairly useless. Unless you're having to do like just walled siege after walled siege after walled siege, sometimes it would be okay to bring artillery just to help make holes in the wall and kill stuff that's up on the walls. You are not Royal Thorax Swordsman, but as I always say, I do appreciate your over-enthusiastic attitude towards what you are.
As you command.
Alright, that's going to be the end of the Greek giant ballista. Colchians are approaching my pike line. I've got superior range, so we shouldn't have any problem cleaning this up. Bring my elephants up. Boy, my Persian light archers over here have really taken some abuse during this battle. Is this a... yeah, that's a Hippeus Lancer back here. Let's give them some attention. I'm going to start the outflanking maneuver over here. Cleaned up the ballista. And citizen cavalry is shaken. Hopefully not stirred, you know, little James Bond reference there. I'm gonna get the Eastern Slingers with my Median cavalry here. And let's go ahead and just plow in with the Indian War Elephants here. And we've got these guys surrounded. I'm gonna go ahead and cease all my archer fire, because they could be hitting my own elephants. They are hitting my own elephants. There we go. Enemy general's dead. Let's go after the next Eastern Slinger unit before it engages my general. Possibly berserks it. Now, we did take more casualties than I would like, but the casualties were spread out across my units and not just focused on my elephants, meaning that if we do come up against a tough fight on the next turn, we will have had some replenishment, and none of our key units will be overly beat up. Our elephants are very important damage-dealing units, and if we get them trashed and then happen to need them in a pinch, we'd be in bad shape. So, now that we're done with this battle, let me get back into talking about the naval battle suggestions you all had. It seemed like a very good portion of the comments, probably like a plurality of them, were really focused on boarding actions, and it seems like a lot of people feel like boarding actions needed some changes. They were either too glitchy. Some people felt like maybe it's too difficult to pull off the boarding action, or one person suggested a system in which the boarding actions depend on the height of the ship. which is really interesting. So like a taller ship should have an easier time boarding a smaller ship. Makes a lot of sense. It's an interesting idea. I very much like the idea that that would be the case. So it is definitely an interesting idea. It looks like the Cyrenaians are trying to bypass me and then go back for ammonium here. So I'm going to kind of continue to bounce back and forth with this army because I do have my fleet on the way. Some people talked about the naval battles. The pathfinding is really bad. They are absolutely correct. The pathfinding is really bad and is definitely something that needs to be, I think, worked on. But I think, you know, improved boarding actions would be a really neat feature. Improved pathfinding would definitely help. There was a suggestion from Appius, who's one of the moderators on my channel. He had suggested that maybe naval units, instead of just being a single ship, could be multiple units. And I want to say a long time ago when we were seeing video for Rome 2 prior to its release from CA, that naval units did have more than one ship. I could have sworn I've seen that. Maybe I'm wrong. You all tell me if you remember any such thing. I'm not sure why they would have backed out of it, but that could be interesting as well because it would make the naval battles feel a little more epic. Because there were some really large naval battles back in these days. Hundreds of ships, sometimes engaging in combat. So, I mean, it was definitely an interesting time from a naval standpoint. Like, there were some pretty big wars and battles fought with significant battles fought at sea. So let's see, that already used our movement points. We're still waiting these guys out here. Let's go take a look at our movement points. So this, the Heralds of Thanos can move here. It looks like the Scythians are going for Cath. That's actually a little bit frustrating because then it makes this province a little bit more standalone, which I don't want. So I'll go ahead and just put that in there to help protect me from any cultural seep that we're going to get from the Scythians. But it looks like the Scythians at least will go ahead and take Cath and kind of get the Bactrians in check. I'm going to come at these two armies. I can't quite reach them, unfortunately. Yeah, we can't reach them, but I can at least kind of get in their way on the path to Bukhara while we continue to replenish, and that would just leave one Bactrian settlement back here. I'm going to offer the Bactrians one last time a chance to become my satrapy. They're probably far too...
I cannot say for how long, for matters of state and a splendid bowl of olives demand attention.
I'll offer them money even. No, they're just not going to do it. Alright, well, Bactria's going to be destroyed then. Like, it is what it is. Don't come whining to me. You've had a chance to survive. Don't say I didn't give it to you. It is time for me to end the turn, or actually, we have some skill points we need to take care of, and I have my agent. I wanted to move it a little further. Thapsus is under Roman control.
What do you wish of me? On the road again.
Carthago is under Roman control too.
No further.
Well, the Nasamones are doing a little bit of raiding. I'm going to go ahead and go get some intelligence on the Roman Empire, so this is good to see. We could end up with some kind of challenge out of Rome. So, interesting. Interesting indeed. I don't see the Romans here in Illyria, though. Somehow the RDA managed to hold their own against the Romans, which defies all logic and basically everything else that we know about the game. All right, Hannibal can now build largest siege engines with his army. When he dies, that'll still stay with his army, which is good news, because he is old. I don't know how much longer Hannibal's going to last. I mean, the game could be very kind to us, and he could last a long time, or the game could kill him off on the next turn. Really difficult to say. Yeah, they're just going to walk around me to Bukhara. Annoying, but fine, because if they take Bukhara, they're going to be in the settlements, and it just sticks them in a single place where I can kill them. And as we dismember their final armies, and with Cath under siege, Bactria is going to have less and less options available to it. So it's annoying because it draws this out farther, but in the end, it should be okay. So that is a second Colchian army that just invaded my territory. So the one stayed at Antioch, which means that we're going to get them.
Can end today. But only if you see matters.
Do the dollar store Ptolemies want to be my I mean, no one has even come close to accepting my satrapy offers. I mean, you would think, faced with extinction and overwhelming odds, that being a satrapy would sound pretty okay. But no, apparently not. Like, these people aren't even in the least bit interested. What did that say? Family annals. Okay. So let's retake our settlement here. We're gonna retake Bukhara. It's like the third or fourth time it's been turned over, back and forth with the Bactrians. The Heralds of Thanos, though, picking up some experience points for constantly winning battles.
Ready for orders.
So Bukhara back under control. And most importantly, we've got to go relieve the siege at Antioch. Otherwise, the Colchians will force a surrender. And we are able to reach the Colchian army. But see, they've got another one that's trying to bypass me and get further into my territory. We've definitely got a problem on the northern front here. They retreated. What a bunch of cowards. Fight me. They have an army here. Like, it's getting really... Ugh. I wish CA wouldn't program the enemy armies like this. They made a big army. They invaded my territory. I bring an army to fight them. The game is called Total War. Make them fight. You know what I mean? Don't have them run away pulling this crap. Make the AI fight. Like, I really, really get irritated by this kind of stuff. Because it just is very anticlimactic in a game that's supposed to be all about, like, massive battles and all this other stuff. So, I really don't want to be down here at Persephone. I really want to be in the north pushing the Colchians, because they are threatening my homelands right now, but it is what it is. I've got to lay siege to these settlements down here. Because Cigartea has been a constant thorn in my side as well. I suppose I could have taken a peace agreement with the Cyrenaicans, but I don't feel like giving them any sort of peace at the moment. Right now, they're just playing the avoidance game. So they're avoiding all of my settlements because they don't want to fight me. So what I'm going to do, they probably forced march around. I'm going to come out on this road right here because they have some forces. Some forces to the north of me. And I think I know how to maybe gain an advantage on them here. So I'm going to come out and lay an ambush with this army and see if I can lure them in. Then I'm going to take my fleet and I'm going to go ahead and garrison this settlement here so that this army can't take it. Ammonium has this barracks, which means that its garrison will be far more capable. Alright, so this should keep our Egyptian holdings safe for the time being. Garrisons are going to be sketchy. Palmyra. I mean, Dura is the only one that has a really bad garrison. Some of these others aren't good, but we might be able to put up a fight. Some of the others because we have at least a few pike units where we can attempt to offer resistance. Let's go take a look at all of our armies. Hannibal's Revenge is ready to move against the last remaining Athenian settlement. And he should be able to reach all the way to their settlement. Based on what I'm seeing here. And yep, they are there.
None will escape.
The Athenians have pikes. These mercenary veteran hoplites could be a pain in the butt to try and defeat on the walls. So I don't really want to fight them on the walls. I don't know why I'm not able to build siege towers here. But they only have one turn to hold out, so let's just siege them. He did siege, right? Yeah, continue siege. Okay, so we are sieging the Athenians out of their last settlement. Really could use another fleet, but it's going to eat up so much of my cost. I mean, we could use a whole other army, to be honest. Because the enemy's always operating smaller armies around me. I guess I could try and make a couple of small garrison armies in key locations if necessary, so that's an option that I'll be open to. Let's go look, and again, see if I had torn anything down. I don't want to have patchy factories hit me right now, because that will give us some excess grief that we don't need. Mesopotamia. We've got a lot of territory, like a whole lot. Yep, right here at Navisos. This would have been the example here. So in this settlement, I'm going to put a consecrated ground, because this is the only settlement we own in this territory. The rest of it's owned by the Thracians. I'm going to take a look at diplomacy here. Pretty much everyone's going to hate me because of the size of my... Yeah, see, expansionism, just they don't trust me because I'm huge. And honestly, probably not a bad mindset to hold. See, Royal Scythia hates me too. I thought we had a trade agreement with Royal Scythia. Oh, no, it was the Roxolani. Roxolani. My bad. So we're trading with the Roxolani. I could send some people on diplomatic missions to some of these factions and just see if we get lucky and accomplish something worthwhile. But first of all, I'm going to go ahead and secure some loyalties, because I can't afford to have a war from these guys right now. That's going to take pretty much all of my remaining money. Let us send our... I do probably have enough money to send one diplomat on a mission, so let's go over here to the character screen. Let's send this Greek family guy out as a diplomat to the RDA, and let's just kind of see what happens. I'm not expecting great things, but we'll just we'll see if we get lucky. Okay, let's end our turn here. You have a skill point that needs to be assigned to our hero, and Hannibal's our champion in Hannibal's army. Demoralize army. Commit arson is kind of cool. We could burn down buildings in an enemy settlement if we needed to. Alright. Yep, so Carthago under Roman control. Our spy has put to sea. I'm going to head over to Sicily. See what's going on. Athens is begging for a peace treaty, but we all know they're just going to decline my satrapy offer, so I'm not going to give it to them. That's going to force them out into battle. So here's the last stand of Athens, folks. Let's give them their last stand. Let's let them die with honor, I suppose. They could have joined into Alexander's legacy by being a satrapy, but instead they chose to be like Sparta and die on the battlefield. But I suppose that is better than them running away with several small armies and just trying to go around me and cause problems and refuse to fight. So, like the Colchians, for instance. They declare war on me, they invade my land, and then when I offer them battle, they refuse. Makes a lot of sense. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna get the battle underway. If they are going to get reinforcements, I expect it'll come from behind them.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
When I hit play here... Oh crap, my mouse was off screen. I was having a hard time hitting play. We're very close to the enemy. I gotta fall back with my archers a little bit, actually. I'm gonna get in pike formation with my thorax pikes. I've been meaning to do this at the beginning of the battle. I'm gonna turn formation attack off for my thorax swords and thurio spears. My pikes were awaiting the charge of that citizen cavalry, so no big losses to me. There's a javelinman unit threatening my thorax pikes. I'm going to rain down a lot of Persian pain rain. Are you really going to suicide thorax swords? I don't think that's very advisable. Yep, they did. push forward over here. Ozet Knights, can you go ahead and tear down that citizen cav, and let's push forward. Unsurprisingly, that citizen cavalry got absolutely maimed. Alright, my Ozet Knights gonna clobber these guys here. We got a Hippeus Lancer that will cause some damage to my Thorax Swords there because it is, you know, a heavy shot cavalry. But I'm gonna reinforce with elephants. And let's put some fire down on these slingers over here. Mercenary Gorgo skirmishers. I'm gonna just completely surround this mercenary hoplite actually and push my cavalry further up. Push back the Hippeus Lancer. They're gonna flee away from us for a moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and rear charge for the time being. And these guys are gonna flee back and try and get to the. Look at this. The AI can do this all the time. They just somehow force their pikemen right to my line, and it causes massive damage to my own pikes. That is really frustrating and cheap. I'm gonna get in here and just crush the remainder of their forces that are fighting me. I'm gonna mow down this pikeman that cheated and broke a big hole in my line. I'd like to know how the AI is accomplishing that. It'd be funny if I could recreate it on my own, but I have no idea how they're pulling it off. It's probably something to do with the fact that I'm pretty sure the AI basically spams orders. Like, since they can give as many orders as they want at any given time to their units, I'm pretty sure they just start spamming it and are able to do weird things like that. So see, like right here, they just move straight through my line with their pike unit. And somehow it didn't rout. Like, despite it gonna get flanked penalties and all kinds of stuff, it doesn't rout, and it's getting like a bajillion kills on my light archer, even though it's a pike unit and doesn't really, you know, doesn't really have a great attack rate or anything like that. It's gonna sit there and get all those kills. It's turned into a bit of a mess here. Alright, so the cheating pikeman is now killed. Look at that, it didn't rout, down to 2 men. It hasn't routed. Again, tell me if you think the player gets that kind of benefit of the doubt. I guarantee you, you won't. You will never have one of your pike units fight down to the last 2 men behind enemy lines. I can absolutely guarantee you that. I've spent enough time in this game to know that answer. I don't need to have an experiment upon it. Another pike unit right here. I'm going to let my Thurio Spears start to unload on it. I'm going to get over here. Give a little support to some of these fights. Let my Ozet Knights start hunting down.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
I've got an Ozet Knight back here that I need to activate. And now I'm going to attack this pike unit. There's 2 pike units in here. No? No, there's not. It's just the 1 pike unit maneuvering all funny. Alright, so we're going to really put the pinch on these remaining infantry fights. And that mercenary hoplite's about to rout. Linnet Cataphract's now going to get in on the Gorgo skirmishers. I'll take my archers and go ahead and cease fire because there's going to be a lot of friendly fire now. Let's see if I can put an end to that blob over there. The Phalanx push. Alright, Hannibal cleaned up this fight with his fear. Give a second wind. I'm sure some of my cavalry over here are getting tired. There we go. Put a second wind there. Alright, now we just gotta run down the Hippeus Lancers, and I'm trying to get my elephants out of this fight over here to defeat the light hoplites, but they're kind of getting hung up. But Hannibal's unit got a bunch of kills there, trampling all those enemies. That's impressive showing of leadership here. That Hippeus Lancer basically fighting to the death with my Ozet Knights. And my Knights are very, very superior to his unit in melee. Even with a very solid charge, I don't think a Hippeus Lancer unit's going to defeat an Ozet Knight head-on. I think they're just too heavy. They would deal a lot of damage on the charge, but when it came to a prolonged melee engagement, it would probably not favor the Lancers. I'm going to ransom off the captives for some extra cash, because we could use it right now. All the units and armies I'm having to field. That should be the end of the Athenians, for all intents and purposes. I do not want to give you military access. I don't want to have horse archers spread all across my land suddenly. Alright, the Colchian army is actually retreated. I have no idea why. They could have put me in a pretty good hurt, those two armies. That actually kind of worked. My ambush drew in one of the Cyrenaican armies, so that's good news. The Cigarteans are going to come out and try and sally out against me and win at Persephone. You can see they're going to fail with the army they have, so let's help them fail. Yeah, thanks for all the discussion around the naval battles. It was very fun reading your comments. I definitely enjoyed the feedback. I can't cover everything that was said here, obviously, and then I'm very behind as it is, so I didn't really get to respond to many of them. I did read them, but I didn't get to respond too much because of, you know, the mess, basically, that I explained at the beginning of the episode. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on guard mode. A formation. Yeah, this will be fine. This formation's good right here. We don't need to get it too complicated. Cigarteans do not pose any super significant threat to me here. Start moving, fast forward. I'm gonna let you all try and get some close-ups in this battle if possible. I'm assuming the AI is going to suicide charge me with the Persian cavalry, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop a little short. And I'm gonna put some fire on these horse skirmishers to begin with. No, I'm not. I gotta fall back, because there is a massive suicide charge inbound. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I told you to fall back. If you die now, it's not my fault. Yeah, look at that AI going full Leroy Jenkins here. I'm gonna turn around, slaughter the horse skirmisher. There's way more horse skirmishers on the way. And I need to focus out the horse skirmishers before they can do anything decisive against my elephants. They have Persian archers and slingers out here as well, but I'm gonna have to focus fire. So I don't have quite enough units to accomplish everything I want to, so I'm gonna use my Thurio spears out here. Gonna stand in a little. Persian archers, you don't really need to reposition that much to take those shots. That's really kind of irritating. I hate the way that your missile units reform constantly in this game to carry out an attack order. They really don't need to. We are getting slaughtered out here by that horse skirmisher, despite our numbers being superior and tossing javelins in return. I don't really quite understand this. There's no way they should be causing me that much damage. I have more numbers than they do. I can't afford to focus my archers over there right now, though, because I can't sit here and ignore just a massive line of skirmishers.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Alright. Our Thurio spears are out of ammunition. Horse skirmishers are absolutely slaughtering my thorax sword unit here. I don't have much of a choice but to lay down some archer fire in that direction and just ignore other units. I never knew horse skirmishers were quite so effective. Apparently they are just shredding straight through shields and all kinds of stuff. Fortunately for me, though, the fight in the front is going absolutely fine. There, I think one of their horse skirmishers ran out of ammo.
The battle is turning in our favor.
My archers have turned over there, so now we're in good shape. Here comes the remainder of the enemy cavalry. Approach. That mob. I'm gonna try and take out the remainder of this mercenary Persian cavalry. Alright, so we've got rid of the horse skirmishers, which were firing nuclear warheads off of their horses. These are Eastern Javelin men, so I'm going to go ahead and punch in now. There's another pike unit back here as well. This is annoying. They took a cavalry past me and they're going to get into my skirmishers. And with the way that the AI operates, they'll get a ton of kills off of that, like just a ton.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Alright, let's get this other cavalry unit activated. Kill that Eastern Spear. I'm going to reposition my archers over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and start rolling my elephants up this way. My elephants are not under fire. I would have expected them to be, but the AI is ignoring them and just shooting at my pikes. It's an odd decision, to be certain. Okay. We are in good shape now. And I'm gonna get all my archers to cease fire before we get friendly fire started. This enemy pike unit is holding out way longer than it should. It has an Indian war elephant, just absolutely smacking it down from a rear position. Yeah, really not understanding how this unit's alive. It's just a pike unit, and it's not even a particularly good one. It'd be another thing altogether if that was like a foot companion or something. But, whatever. The AI here just desperate to avoid the engagement with my superior units. Only wants to engage the Thurios Spear. I kind of want to see how well my pikemen will crush another pikeman. It may chain route. We'll see. Look at it, it's just ignoring my pikemen. Pushing for, there it goes. Yeah, chain routed. Alright, that's okay. They're going to be forced to surrender. They were defeated badly. So the Cigarteans should be pretty much done here, and then this army can go help me focus on the Colchians. And on the next episode, we should have an all-out war against the Colchians, and Hannibal should be free. Like, I'm kind of thinking about taking Hannibal and invading North Africa to kick off the war with the Romans. Retaking his homeland from the Romans, and kind of, that'd be kind of fun and thematic, I think. And so the other Cigartean force here is going to sally out against us. Let's go ahead and win this too. So Pericles' pride with an opportunity to win a battle here. The garrison army is bigger than the army that's attacking us, I think. I'm going to take a look at the lay of the land here, but ideally, since they're attacking me, I'd like to fall back here into this open ground where my chariots can operate with a little more impunity. My infantry in this army is really pretty bad right now. I think it's the worst out of all my armies for sure. So we're going to need to be very Johnny on the spot with support for Hillman and other units. Okay, so there we go. That'll work for now. This guy's on guard mode. Let's start the battle. Let's let the Cigarteans
Reinforcements approaching.
walk to me. There's no need for me to approach them. And like I said, giving them the scrub land, I don't want them to have any cover. I want my scythe chariots to operate with total impunity. Because they will be very, very damaging against units like Eastern Spears and Skirmishers, stuff like that. The great fast forwarding has begun. They've got multiple horse skirmishers. We've seen how annoying these units can be. Wow, they have a lot of them. I think 4 units of them there, so that's going to have to be a focus for my skirmishers, because horse skirmishers will absolutely ruin elephants, cavalry, and scythe chariots. They are a hard counter, essentially. They do have pike generals occasionally. You're going to just kind of continue the fast forward here. I don't know why they're kind of approaching all to my left. It's a little bit annoying.
General,
Shift left a little.
by your command.
Right there, that should be fine. Now I feel like we're meeting them. Fair terms.
Double time. Ready?
Leave a couple of my skirmishers right in the middle to return fire on their own. Unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to face some of my skirmishers. I'll turn my eastern slingers out here. Okay, I'm going to slow it down for just a second because I need to do some countercharging here. I'm going to countercharge these suicidal cavalry. I'm into a phalanx formation. And slingers and archers open fire on the horse skirmishers. That is a pike unit, so they should be safe from that suicide chariot. Alright, let's hit play. And I'm gonna turn fire on some of the slingers. Oh my gosh, these horse skirmishers are gonna jack up my cavalry so bad. The horse skirmishers are just absolutely all over me at the moment. I'm gonna have to kind of play a little bit of cat and mouse with them. Ugh, they're gonna slaughter my citizen cavalry. Might get really lucky and catch a few there. Nope, okay. This is a mess. Yeah, the number of horse skirmishers is just way too high right now. Oh, we actually caught a horse skirmisher right there. Sweet. Kill it. Oh, my citizen cavalry, my poor citizens. They're getting absolutely slaughtered by horse skirmishers. Oh, sorry, I've got a lot going on, so I'm trying to keep track of it here. Alright, we've lost that horse skirmisher, so let's just fall back over here into this fight. I'm putting some fire down on enemy skirmishers. Their skirmishers fell back out of range over here.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
My poor infantry units over here just having to sit here and absorb horse skirmisher fire. Very little I can do about it at the moment. But the good news is that the AI is exhausting some of its horse skirmishers early here. Look at them just parked right in front of me, unloading their nuclear-tipped javelins. These guys cause insane damage. Look at this. I mean, they're just shredding through a shielded unit. It's no problem whatsoever. Javelins in this game are very, very powerful and should not be underestimated. I'm going to try and get my general here, so I'm going to have to... Are they going to charge me here? They are. Bold move, Cotton. Mistake to be certain. Mistake to be certain. Fall back in on these guys. Punch my elephants through here.
Our general is under attack.
Horse skirmisher is gonna get crushed in this melee, but it caused massive damage to my skirmisher unit prior to being crushed. This pike unit, though, ought to die very, very quickly. Had it completely overwhelmed. I don't know what my chariot's doing here. This pike unit should not be standing.
The enemy general is dead.
Okay, yeah, my chariots did cut through him. Where's my other chariot unit? Let's bring it up. Push the cavalry out. Push the chariots forward like it's time to go for the finishing here. Crush this mob.
Melee cavalry ready. For glory. Chariots.
And there is still a pike general back here, but I feel like we can push their skirmishers back behind its
Our
protection.
men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Get out of here. There we go. So now we're just going to go on a mostly all-out push. We've got to separate these skirmishers from their pike protection. My general is under some pretty heavy fire here. Some mercenary Persian archers. Alright, we've separated out most of the enemy. I've just got a couple of hillmen to help keep these enemy units busy. And my general going through here. And I need my 2 scythe chariots. They're moving slowly for some reason rather than moving quickly.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Okay. I'm gonna bring the scythe chariots in for the finisher.
At your service. Riders at the double. Charge. By your command.
Our men
2
flee
scythe
the
chariots
field of
cutting
battle.
across this pike unit. It ought to finish the battle. They'll take a ton of damage as my chariots roll through. Yeah, you can see them dropping units in a big hurry there. So it says Pyrrhic victory. We did take a lot of losses there, but my army was kind of crappy, to be fair. But we won, and most of my units are going to remain intact while we take their settlement, because they otherwise have to surrender, I believe. So Cigartea is going to lose almost all of its bite here. A single turn end. Just lost some trashy units there, nothing over the top. They got around me with one army, though, of course. And that's at Charax, which I do believe has a pretty strong food production. Don't even think about it. These Arabian faction over here standing on my border with a big army, like, just don't even think about it. Mission failed. It seems like I should have taken full-on control. Cultural influence. Okay, yeah, settlement captured. And settlement captured.
At your command.
And we did not capture Armosia yet. They've still got one more turn to surrender, which means they'll attack me again, probably. That's okay, we've got them. They're pretty much under our boot at this point. Our army at Persepolis unfortunately doesn't get its movement points this turn, though, because the capture happened after the turn end. That is disappointing. The Colchians are kind of playing games with me now here because they attack me and then flee. I've got one of their settlements in my sights, and I'm going to go hit it. I want to put the war on their turf. They don't have much of an army there, but they're trying to train an army here, and by taking their settlement and killing this army, hopefully I can get their attention and force the war back onto their turf. Though I am going to have to save the game here. This is going to be all that I have time to record for now. I do hope you all enjoyed it. I hope that this finally made it to you as an upload, and like I said, help me out a little. Please give me some support. It has been a rough couple of days trying to get this to you. Not to say that I haven't tried. I have tried a lot. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm going to save the game here. I will see you all next time with some more action in Total War Rome 2.